Hello peoples, how you doing? So I'm still in fact sick, but I decided to make a video for you. It's probably not going to be the exact length that we're probably used to, but that's okay. We'll at least play a few games for you. We're going to play Assault today still. I'm going to play a little bit more my style. I'm going to play a little bit more Cannon, Boomerang, maybe mixing some Darlings here and there, you know, maybe make it a little bit interesting, but overall I'm going to play mostly trying to win, overall. We'll see where it leads me. If I need to put it on low quality or something like that to beat some people in the later rounds, I may indeed do that. We will see what happens. So this guy is in fact not very good, so we'll just play for fun. We'll play some random towers. We got a Boomerang, which means we will probably be okay. We also have Ninjas, which is probably going to end up being our camo popping power. So we're going to rely on that. And what you're going to do for the Boomerang is obviously on this level, I've talked about it quite a few times, but if you're a new viewer, that's totally okay. What we're going to do is we're going to put the Boomerang right here. We'll always put it right here because we're worried more about the person sending balloons at me than the balloons that come out of the artificial intelligence balloons. That's what we're going to call them. And if you notice, this guy's going boats, which means he probably doesn't know what the heck he's doing, because anybody who goes boats is just not the best thing in the entire world to do. I personally am not a fan of boats, even though Grape Shot can be pretty good, and Cannon both can be pretty good. As far as popping power goes, and versus regrow balloons and stuff like that, they have quite a few weaknesses. So overall, I try and stay away from boats as much as possible. Anyways, we're actually starting to get overrun here just a little bit, so instead of just keeping up with all that nonsense, I'm actually going to get a cannon. Oh no, I can't get a cannon! So I would normally get a cannon right now, but I kind of went random, so I forgot that I don't have cannons. In fact, I'm not going to think about what I'm going to start having to get. Actually, stop sending out balloons at me, so I will indeed send out more economy balloons. I'm not worried about lives very much at all. Honestly, we will totally rock all of these balloons. In fact, by the time it's pretty much necessary, we'll in fact get a 2-3 Boomerang. So let's start saving up here just a little bit. Make sure we keep enough money to actually get the 2-3 Boomerang with our next little bit of money that we get. So now we can get a 2-3 Boomerang, $1,700. Leave this guy on first and you'll pop all those balloons. The next thing we're going to do is still go more economy. So of course, sending out red balloons and blue balloons will give you a lot, not a lot more economy, but quite a bit more economy than the pinks and the space blues. So that's why this guy's Space Blues may have done some damage to me while I really haven't done too much damage to him, but on the other hand, I've got much more economy. So now I start to send out pinks versus me, and that's absolutely no problem whatsoever. By the way, if I start coughing or sneezing during the video, I'm sorry, I really can't help it. In fact, I can actually feel a sneeze coming on, so you may hear me sneeze a little bit. I sneeze quite loud, so we'll have to see what happens. But I'm actually overrunning him fairly easily with all these just regular blue balloons, and if I need to, I'll just keep sending out blue balloons and green balloons, and I'll probably do some damage to him, which is pretty darn solid. So 2-3 Boomerangs, especially on this level, are going to help me survive so freaking long. Just for fun, we can probably get some sort of other towers too, like a boat or maybe another Boomerang. I think the best thing to do would probably be to get another Boomerang, level 8 or so. But in fact, we could probably change it up and do something that's kind of fun, like get some snipers or something like that. Snipers are really not that excellent for Bloons Tower Defense battles. Personally, I'm not a huge fan, but we can probably make them work if we get a couple good upgrades and mix them up with a couple other random towers. Now what you're going to notice is that level 5 has been, for whatever reason, lasting for frickin' ever. I have no idea why. It seems like it was almost glitching on level 5 to last for an extremely long time. Normally level 6 and 7 are like before 2 minutes and 30 seconds. But in fact, we have a huge in-game economy, 600 plus right now already. Now we start to send out black balloons first. Nope, just a few black balloons just to test the water, I guess, and did absolutely nothing. So now I'm going to save up my money a little bit. We do have more than 600 in-game economy. I don't want to. It's not that these balloons are going to overrun me. These balloons, black balloons and stuff, will not overrun me. I might lose a couple lives, but that's not the big deal. What the big deal is level 8, regrow yellows and regrow blacks and stuff like that can actually get through a 2-3 Boomerang, so you have to be slightly careful. So the next thing we're going to do is, normally I would get another Boomerang thrower, but let's make this fancy. Let's hide a sniper in the top over here, put him on strong, and get a couple other quick upgrades here. And let's just get 2 of them. We'll hide this one under the bush. Maybe he won't notice that one either. Put those both on strong. So yeah, if you're noticing anything, we're doing pretty darn good here. This guy's defense is oakley-dokley, I suppose. I mean, I guess it's alright. And if you notice, my snipers are doing pretty darn good over there. I could get some more really intense upgrades for those snipers, but I think we're definitely better off with a couple more 2-3 boomers. So let's get another 2-3 boomer right next to this guy, and this guy's actually going to have even more popping power than the other one. 2-3 boomer, and this means nothing's going to get through, but also you have to understand that I'm weak versus camos right now. So in fact, we're going to have to get some camo popping power. First of all, we'll get these guys for any sort of big camo balloons that do end up coming. And then also we will get another ninja over here to kind of do cleanup work. Cleanup work on all those camo balloons. And now the next thing you're going to realize is I'm actually going to rush him with a bunch of regrow balloons pretty darn soon. I'm not going to rush him with the regrow camos. Just regular regrow balloons are going to be enough to stop him. We actually don't have very much camo popping power, so if he sent a bunch of camo regrow pinks or something like that, we probably would get overrun. But, in fact, we will just do this. Regrow balloons, a bunch of these guys, and we will easily own him. I cannot see him winning no matter what. Unless he builds a bunch of 3-0 boomerangs, like, amazing style, he's not going to be able to survive this. If you notice, all these regrow balloons just kind of rushed through his defense. We probably did about 5 billion lives of damage. So let's keep on going here. I don't know if you guys can tell my voice is a little bit different. Maybe a little bit deeper or something like that. I've been talking very fast in most of my videos, so today I've decided maybe I'll try and slow it down just a little bit. At least for this game, I'll try and slow it down for you guys. If you guys like this a little bit better, if you like my fast action talking, let me know. I always appreciate suggestions and stuff like that. You know, of course, comments like, great video, those are nice. But I always like when somebody's like, Chris, I really liked this, or I really didn't like this. And I'm not going to hate you for giving me a suggestion or telling me what you thought about my video. Some people mention that I seem pompous or something like that. I don't know. I guess I could be a little bit pompous at times, but I think I'm a good player. What's wrong with thinking I'm a good player? I don't think I'm the best player in the entire world. I do lose games. If you haven't noticed, I have 200 losses right here. Just about 200 losses, so I do lose games. It's obvious. You know, everybody loses games. But at the same time, I still think I'm a pretty good player. So what are you going to do? I don't know. Don't be mean to me. Anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the freaking Darling Gun this game. Why the heck not? We can get a Darling Gun. This guy's kind of lagging a little bit. So first of all, Darling Gun. I actually kind of like Darling Guns on this level because even the inaccuracy of the Darling Gun really does not matter at all, because these kind of go in little zigzag stair step type of pattern. So it's definitely very interesting and helps out with the basically never missing with any of your darts. So you're going to get like the max popping power possible out of your Darling Gun. So what you're going to notice is I'm not even getting very many upgrades for my Darling Gun. In fact, it looks like I'm almost getting overrun already with just these regular balloons. If this guy started sending out some red balloons versus me, I would definitely need to get something else. So I'm not going full Darling Gun, so I can kind of rearrange my strategy around that. The first thing I'm going to do is actually going to get a cannon. So I'm going to get a cannon up near the top, not all the way at the top, because I'm going to end up getting a 3-0 cannon to pop all of the regular balloons. That's basically my plan right now. So let's get this guy right here. He's going to be a 3-0 eventually, and this guy I'm also going to get an upgrade for pretty soon, depending on if he sends any. Okay, so he is starting to send out balloons versus me, so I will get this upgrade right here. This is just a 0-1 upgrade for my Darling Gun. And that just allows me to go through 3 balloons instead of 1 balloon, and this allows me to pop pretty much all the pink balloons, and in fact probably a lot of black balloons as well. The cannon's really not helping that much. He just does a little bit of popping power here and there, especially a lot versus these grouped blues or grouped greens or something like that he might end up sending out at me. This guy's going full wizards, so if you just want to look at that, that's just kind of odd. You don't see many people going full wizards, and it looks like he's not going lightning wizards either. He's going with just 1-1 wizards, which in fact is not a bad idea. You might be saying like, well, I like lightning wizards. But no, in fact, this actually helps out versus regrow balloons and stuff like that, because it does not allow things to regrow as much. But now he's finally getting lightning wizards, which I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea. Maybe he's got a solid strategy with this, but based on his win-to-loss rate ratio, I'm kind of assuming that he's just, in fact, doesn't really know what the heck he's doing. In fact, if you haven't noticed, I've been messing up this entire game pretty much. I've been sending out the wrong balloons. I've been wanting to send out green balloons and blue balloons, but I'm sending out red balloons the entire time. That was an accident, not on purpose. I'm just paying attention to a couple different random things here instead of what I probably should be paying attention to. So anyways, he's starting to send out black balloons, so my 0-3 can probably handle most of them, but why not upgrade it? Let's upgrade this guy, and we can do a lot more solid damage to these black balloons. And in fact, if we can make this no lives lost, that would be freaking sweet. So let's actually get some upgrades for my cannon here. Let's get a 3-0 cannon. And in fact, we'll probably get a 4-2 cannon or something like that pretty soon. Or we could save up for a laser cannon. Now realistically, this is what's up with what's going on right now. We got the cannon for grouped balloons, and we got the dartling gun for the other non-grouped balloons. Now, should I go for the win or should I go for surviving? Well, realistically, I'm not very good on economy, even though I should be a little bit better. This guy's also kind of weak on economy, and one reason why I'm saying that is because he's sending out balloons kind of late. All that money he will get back at, you know, 5.5 minutes or so. He'll get all that money back, and plus some. But, because he's sending out now, I know that he's weak versus, like a quick attack here. So I could save up for a laser cannon. I could probably get it in time. In fact, I could just sell this cannon really fast and almost already afford a laser cannon, especially for level 12. But I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to send out a bunch of regrow balloons, because regrow balloons are definitely good versus these guys right here. So we can just send out a couple of these spaced rainbows, and I'm pretty darn sure they're actually going to regrow into a lot of balloons. So let's see. We'll just send out like three or four of these guys. They're not grouped balloons. They're just spaced balloons. We'll have to see. I'm not sure if these can overwhelm him, but it does look like they're actually getting pretty darn far. And in fact, for the next level, we'll just actually go for our big rush. So we're kind of keeping him busy right now, thinking he has to build more towers instead of go for a rush. And now we're going to go for our full rush. And this is the non-spaced regrow rainbows. And if you notice, we're actually going to completely destroy him right there. We did another 5 trillion lives of damage. So victorious again. We'll play another quick battle here. Maybe we'll play somebody a little bit better. If you guys actually haven't noticed, we're pretty darn close to the 100th episode, so we'll have to see what we're going to do for that. I still have yet to decide. There's been a couple suggestions. I am not going to do the 100 battles and picking out all my things, because that's just way too much time. I may do a really long live stream, or I may do something cool like that. Let's play my best. Let's go. Actually, you know what? I think I have something fun for that we can do. We can do the long-live strategy. So let's do the long-live strategy. That could be fun. I'm not even gonna do dartlings. I don't know. They're okay, but I'm not a huge fan of the dartling guns. In fact, top 5, top 6 towers. But do I pick them in my top 4? Probably not. Pretty odd. I don't know. That's the way I roll usually. So I really like tack shooters. I think tack shooters are a really good start, especially on this level. You can just go with like a 2-0 tack shooter or something like that, and pop pretty much all these balloons in the beginning. And a 3-0 is even better. And then what you can do is you can just mix in some sort of boomerang by level like 4, 5, or 6 or something like that, and you'll get lots of economy in the beginning and just completely own all the balloons and get tons of money throughout this game. So we're actually going to go for a survive strategy. So this is just to help you guys understand what you need to do if you're just going to try and go a really late game. Sometimes versus very good players, you need to understand that a basic level 13 regrow rush is not going to win you a lot of games. Especially versus some people with like 10,000 plus battle score who have a win record of over 400 or something or a win ratio of over 4. You just can't stop them very easily, so you're going to have to go with a different type of strategy. So what you're going to do is go as much economy as possible, and in the meantime of going as much economy as possible, you are going to just survive. So just get just enough for what you need to survive, and that means we're going to go even more economy past 2.5 minutes, because we're planning on going so late game. So just keep going with this economy here. If you notice, he's sending out these pink balloons. So these pink balloons will actually not do too much damage to me, but just because I can, I will get one more texture, and that will help me out just enough to actually help me lose pretty much no lives. The next thing I would do is if he did start sending out grouped balloons versus me, which are Tactor's weakness, which I've gone through quite a few times, you want to build a cannon. And the cannon's going to stop all the group balloons. You can just build a 0-0 cannon to actually stop all those guys, at least for now. By the time you get to level 8 or something like that, regrow yellows can probably overrun a 0-0 cannon. So getting a 3-0 cluster bomb type of action would probably be a little bit better off. This is going to be my last game because it's probably going to take quite a while to actually play. And like I said, we're not going for the win, even though I probably could win on level 13, 12, 14, 15. I could probably win right around there. That's not the point of this game. We're basically starving the other player out. So that's the plan here. So if you notice those group blues right there, look how many actually got through. That's kind of a lot of balloons. Just looking at it, it is. It's a lot of balloons. So this guy's probably going to start sending out blacks versus me because he's used to blacks doing more damage than grouped balloons, because not too many people are actually used to tack shooters. So of course we're switching over to even more economy balloons, the green balloons. A little bit of confusion on the economy, you know, what's actually better. Personally, I just go with whatever gives me the most economy. There's a little bit of argument over what's better between pinks and blacks, and according to my knowledge, there really is not a very big difference at all. You can go with either one, and you're probably going to be just fine. You're going to get just as much economy as before. So level 8, level 7 already, and we're going to have to start doing something, because we're losing some lives here. We don't want to get overrun by a big solid yellow regrow rush or something like that, so we're going to get 1 cannon and 1 boomerang. So we're kind of mixing our stuff up here. This is the part where you don't get as much economy as you probably could. You probably want to start getting a 2-3 boomerang or something like that, though. Get a 2-3 boomerang, it's just going to be safer. So we'll just save up for this. It's only going to be like 12 more seconds. Hey, that's okay. We'll wait 12 more seconds. But also you have to keep in mind you're going to need camo detection as well. So that's what my monkey village is for. So just keep in mind that you don't want to overexert yourself here. It's very, very easy to overexert yourself, thinking that you can go straight up economy balloons and get 1,000 economy on a level like this. But that's probably not true. 1,000's just a little bit too high. 800's kind of high as well, but I think I can actually manage. So because I went pretty darn well with most of my gameplay, I'm going to save up for a solid monkey village right now. Now you have to keep in mind that monkey village is extremely expensive. It's $1,600. It's $900 for the 0-1 upgrade, which is just a little bit more popping power for your balloons. And then for the camo, it's another $2,000. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save my money because camo detection is not super duper important right now. If he does send a giant rush versus me, I have the money to defend stuff. So right now, is there a weakness that we could rush him with? No. There's nothing we can beat him with right now. We could send out regrow pinks, won't work. Regrow leads will not work. So let's just get ready and let's build our camo detection very fast here. So now I'm going to mess with this guy a little bit. He's probably going to try and rush me with some sort of camo rush. I haven't done this in a while, by the way. If he was smart, he'd send out some camo balloons. But I'm smarter because I'm not going to let him kill me with camo balloons. I'm just going to build this monkey village and get 2 really fast upgrades. So there we go, 1 and 2, and now we're getting a couple more upgrades here. And camo balloons are absolutely nothing to us. Next thing to do is to get a 4-2 cannon. Get a 4-2 cannon to deal with any sort of big salad regrow rush that he could possibly send at you. 4-2 cannons are extremely good versus that, in combination with some sort of other towers, for example a 3-0 or a 2-3 boomerang. You just need more popping power than just a 4-2 cannon alone. So now let's go a little bit more economy here. We can probably get up to 900, maybe 1,000, and this is basically where we're gonna end up beating this guy. Now you have to be again careful on level 15, because guess what comes on level 15? You can send out regrow ceramics. So regrow ceramics are extremely hard to beat for most people. I think most people, if they don't lose on level 13, they're probably going to lose on that level. I'm going to send out just a little bit more balloons here, because I can get more economy and still survive. So let's just keep doing that. You can send, oh, I'm sending out regrow balloons. I did not mean to do that. Oopsie doodles. That was a complete accident. I wasted quite a bit of money there. You just got to be careful when you're trying to show somebody regrow ceramics. You know, no people. I don't normally do that. I don't normally show you what I was going to get. That was a complete mistake by me. I still have 1,000 economy, but things can kill me. Like rushes, solid rushes can actually beat me. So, MOABs. Well, what am I going to do versus MOABs? First of all, if I sent out a MOAB versus him, I could easily kill him. Keep that in mind. I want a lot more economy than him, and what we're going to do is we're going to get MOAB maulers. So, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and we got 2 MOAB maulers, and that should be enough to actually kill a MOAB. Let's at least get 1 more boomerang here to help pop some of those random ceramics and stuff that do come out of MOABs. I'm kind of hoping that he does rush me. But we're just going to make a really solid defense here, and by the way, I could kill him at any moment. We're basically trying to survive. If lag ends up killing me, just understand that I could have won the game quite often. Yeah, I think he's going to go for a quickie rush on me, because I think he just sold something. I'm not really sure what he sold. But regrow ceramics would be what I would rush him with. I would rush him with some regrow ceramics right now. I'd sell probably my 4-2 cannon or something like that and rush him with those guys. Big $5,000 rush or something like that. Totally rocking. Anyways, we're getting a MOAB assassin just in case he does send out a BFB or something like that. If he does send out any sort of rush versus me whatsoever, he's just going to waste his money basically. And then I'm probably just going to let the regular balloons end up killing him. So, one other thing that's actually very helpful, which people usually don't use, is our abilities. They're just helpful, and indeed, they're very helpful. On level 23 is the first MOAB. So the first MOAB does come on level 23. That's 46 in BTD 5, by the way, if you didn't know. If you didn't know already, Bloons Tower Defense Battles basically copies BTD 5. It just halves the levels, so, or every even round in BTD 5 is each round of BTD battles. So the next round is going to be the kind of tough level, I suppose. We'll get one more MOAB Mauler, because I did most of my MOAB Maulers on this side to basically stop him from sending any things at me. We can just use our MOAB Assassin really darn fast there. Pop those guys down to ceramics. If you notice, we actually own those guys. So this guy's got a MOAB Assassin as well, so that's going to help out versus the MOAB. That was kind of smart of him, I'm not going to lie. It was kind of an interesting strategy. What can I do? I can do lots of things, in fact. I can actually just, if I want to, let's just send out a Oh My God. So let's send out a regrow Oh My God or something like that. That would be fun, I think. He has no money to send things at me. He's trying to survive even longer than me, and it's not going to work. So now that we've survived this long, basically you're going to understand that I have a much better economy than him. I have $11,000, and I have a really solid defense here. 4 MOAB Assassins, or 4 MOAB Maulers with a MOAB Assassin. A couple Boomerangs here, and also this 4-2 cannon is going to help pretty much pop all of the random straggler blues that are trying to get by here. So let's just send out this guy. Now what you're going to understand is this is my last-ditch effort attack. My economy is now 0. So if I fail with this attack, I will lose. Another thing is he can start rushing me with a bunch of BFBs or MOABs or something like that. Okay, so it did actually end up coming out. I was just getting a little scared there, thinking that it wasn't going to come out. So, eek, oh no, yes I did, I rushed you with that, oh poo. So, we still didn't lose any lives here. He's got his Oh My God, he's trying to attack with all these random guys, and it looks like we're actually going to overrun him, I believe. Maybe with even those ceramics. So, he's starting to rush me with a couple random things here, and I guess we did end up winning the game. That was a little bit intense, I think. Hopefully my slower voice was a little bit better. Let me know, like I said, do you like me talking a little bit faster, a little bit slower? I'd like to know. Some people might like it this way, and some people might like it the other way. But I always take suggestions. I don't just always go for one certain way of things. Sometimes it's hard for me to control me talking fast, because I just want to talk fast because it's exciting. But anyways, that's all we got for today. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit. Sub if you haven't, and have a great day.